and welcome to the Middle-Aged Magic Theme Park Holiday Podcast. Wow, that's something that really rolls off the tongue, isn't it? So you can find us everywhere at Middle-Aged Magic, and that's because we are two ladies of a certain age based in the UK. I'm Sharon.
And I'm Sam.
And we are always planning a holiday. Even if we're not planning a holiday, we're always planning a holiday to our favourite place, which is Orlando. But our planning always is on a budget because we are careful with money. Is that the right description for us?
That's one word for it. I think it's more the fact of the less we spend on hotels and flights, the more we get to spend on food.
Oh, yes. Oh, forgot to mention, we are foodies. Is that the right word? We're not greedy buggers. We just like our food.
And America has so much more to offer.
And so much bigger size portions. That means we can share, not that we can like stuff our faces, but anyway, I digress. So this is episode 1 of our podcast, vlogcast, whatever you like to call it. And today we're going to talk about hotels. And this is due to the fact that we weren't actually going to go on holiday, but Sam found a deal that was too good not to take.
Yeah, like most people who like going to Florida, even when you're not planning a trip, you still look for deals. You still check what the prices are, especially after the last couple of years. It's been let's see what the prices are like for when we do go back, or even though that was never a plan to go back, but I still looked, and I found a very good deal that was too rude. To turn it down would have been rude. It was like
very rude.
So that's how we ended up with our holiday booked for next year.
I'm so glad we can say next year, because when we booked it, it was actually more than a year, but we're in next year now, so that makes it sound even better.
Next year a lot better than 2024. It's closer.
Yeah. So as you can see, this is because we're on episode 1, we're testing out Microsoft Teams and we're disembodied heads in the theatre view. So hopefully as we go on for episodes, we may end up, well, we could end up anywhere, basically sitting, talking to each other. We're 50 miles away from each other, so we can't be in the same room. Well, we can, but that might take a little bit of planning. So we'll see how we go from episode to episode.
And surprisingly, we can book a holiday in Florida a lot easier than booking a 50-mile journey.
Yes, we can. So we're going to waffle a little bit today about on-site versus off-site. A little bit about villas. I've done villa twice, I think. Sam's done villa
once.
Maybe once. What you'll be using your hotel for, or your place of staying for, because that makes a big difference in how you pick it. Pros and cons. Our favourite subject, which is getting your money's worth, because we like to be careful with our money, because the more we save, the more we can spend on food. A bit about our previous trips, and what we're actually planning to do on our delayed 50th birthday trip, which is delayed quite a bit. Yeah. So the plan was, because Sam and I were both going to be 50 in the year that Disney World was 50, that we were going to go and celebrate our 50th when Disney World was celebrating their 50th, and that all went terribly wrong.
Yes, the world was against us on that one.
Yeah, thanks COVID and the exchange rate, and illness,
and everything else,
lots of other stuff. Yeah.
So we just get to put 50s on hold until we actually get to Walt Disney World, then we can turn 50.
Yeah, good, because I'll be 53 by the time we get there. Cough, cough. But anyway, yeah, enough of that. It's making me feel even older than I already am. Yes, Sam likes to remind me on a regular basis that I am 6 months older than her.
It matters. 6 months is a big time. Lots can happen in 6 months.
Yeah, don't we know it? Right, so shall we tackle on-site versus off-site versus on-site?
I think that's always everyone's favourite debate, is on-site versus off-site.
Yeah.
Always.
So when I travelled with my daughter Emily when she was small, on-site was the only option for me because I just could not face dragging her around on transport or hiring a car because it was just the two of us. So it was more expensive but way more convenient. But going to all the conferences that I used to do that were based in Florida, and adult holidays, we'd never stay on site because that would be way too expensive, and it's much more fun navigating public transport, walking, which is like unheard of for Americans, but walking, and all the other exciting things that you can do when you don't stay on site.
Walking in America is an experience.
Not everywhere has a pavement.
Yeah, one, you have to find a pavement or a sidewalk. They tend to stop randomly. And they will normally be only on one side of the road as well, which doesn't always help.
They do have awesome crossings though, don't they?
Crossing 8 lanes of traffic in 30 seconds with a red man flashing at you, giving you a countdown.
Yeah.
is an experience.
Yeah.
Especially if, like me, you sometimes have to use crutches to walk and you're like doing this very fast speed hobble across 8 lanes of traffic.
Oh yeah, I love your speed hobble.
To come at you from the right.
Yes, with me shouting, go faster, the man's counting down. Yeah, we've had some. Oh, and carrying a bag of shopping on your crutches as well. That's always exciting, isn't it?
Obviously. So yeah, walking is an experience in Orlando, and International Drive isn't too bad because for the main part of it there are sidewalks on both sides.
Yeah, and it pretty much goes all the way up as well, doesn't it? Because obviously it's a really high tourist traffic
walk
area.
From Disney Springs to what was Crossroads. Obviously Crossroads is now being demolished, that's gone. But the last time I was there in 2019, we walked from Disney Springs up to Crossroads to Red Lobster. And yeah, it was interesting because again, the sidewalk just stopped halfway up, and then it's like you wanted to go over the road, but you had to go over that road and then another road to get to the sidewalk to carry on your path. So yeah, walking's an experience, but it can be done. It baffles the Americans, which is quite nice. Especially like one experience I had was I was walking back from SeaWorld.
I love the walk back from SeaWorld.
Got off the Lynx bus, was walking back to the Days Inn, and they, at that time on International Drive, they had these rickshaw bikes, and this rickshaw driver stopped by me and said, "Oh, you know, do you want a lift anywhere?" And I was like, "No, so I'm only just up the road. I'll walk." And he was like, "You British, you walk everywhere." I don't understand. You walk everywhere. But in the end, he actually did give me a free lift. It was only about 500 yards up to the hotel. So
he must have felt sorry for you. Did you have your crutches at the time?
No, I didn't. I did have my knee braces on, I think.
Oh, there you go then. He felt sorry for you, poor English lady gimping along with her dodgy knees.
With dodgy knees.
Well, the other reason that we are a big advocate of public transport in Orlando because it is great, especially around iDrive because you've got the bus, the trolley bus, the Lynx bus. You can go everywhere for $2. It's amazing, so much cheaper than here. Is we don't actually like paying for car hire because it is currently extortionately expensive. It's arms, legs, and kidneys. It's ridiculous. So unless you're going with a huge family and you're all chipping in, why would you hire a car when the transport is good enough to get you everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, twice I've had a car out there. Once was because we did go out as a large group. There was, 5 of us, and that was 5 adults. And we had a villa. So, and we were going to Cocoa Beach. That was a planned trip. So it was beneficial for us at that stage to get a car. That is going back about 20 years ago now, and it was a lot cheaper. Hang on, how long was it? 20 years? I don't know. No, it wasn't 20 years. It could have been 20 years.
No, it wasn't 20 years.
At 12 years.
Yeah, because you're aging yourself drastically there.
It felt like 20 years. But, so I was about 12 years ago, and car hire was a lot cheaper. And we did end up with a big Chevy Tahoe SUV.
I'm sorry, I've disappeared. The dog's barking.
I was going to say, is that a dog?
The joys of recording with animals. At least there's no children in the house at the moment. Yeah, so probably the only time you'd really want to hire a car, unless you've got more money than sense, is if you're staying in a villa, because it's pretty much impossible. Unless you're willing to do the old Lyft or Uber, which are much better value for money, probably.
The villas you find are out on the 192, which is quite a way out. I know we were looking at a 20-minute to 30-minute drive to Walt Disney World every morning. So it is that would be one of the only times I would actually consider a car. The second time was when I stayed in the Hawthorne Suites, but I'd got a very good deal on a package with Virgin that included the car, because we went over Christmas. All I will say is please don't drive Christmas Day or Boxing Day, especially not Boxing Day out there. It's nose to tail traffic. You don't move, you don't get anywhere. So we went out from the 14th to the 28th of December. Right up until the 22nd of December, the roads were fine. But 23rd, 24th, from the 23rd onwards, you noticed the increase in traffic. And Boxing Day, I think I pulled out of the hotel car park, got about 200 meters down the road and didn't move for an hour. So I actually did give up, turn around, go back to the hotel and catch the shuttle bus in, because a lot of the hotels who are close to the parks, whether that be the Disney parks or the Universal area parks, do lay on free shuttles. And I'd make use of them over a car. Especially, I mean, that was back in the day when you didn't pay, because I had an annual pass at the time for Walt Disney World, and you didn't pay for parking. Obviously now, even resort guests have to pay resort parking. If you stay on site and you take your car, you're paying, I think it's $25 a night for parking, even as a hotel guest, to park your car in the hotel car park. And obviously if you're not a resort guest and you're driving from another resort or from a villa, you've then got parking fees on top of that, which can, being from the UK, we tend to go out a lot longer. We don't do 5-day trips. We do, but
we've done quite a lot of 5-day trips when I've had a conference and you've played conference buddying.
But typically, Brits go out 10 to 14 days, which, that can add another $750 onto your trip, and that's just in parking. So it's something to be aware of. If you do
live without a car, you'll save yourself a lot of money, because the Lyfts and Ubers aren't too expensive, and if you're willing to do what we do and like to slum it on public transport, you can pretty much get everywhere in Orlando for $2, or you can buy a weekly ticket, which is something ridiculous like $10 for a weekly.
I think it's $18 or $16 or $18 for a week's unlimited travel on the iTrolleys.
Yeah,
the buses with the happy faces. I love the little face.
And the Lynx bus will take you pretty much anywhere in Orlando, so you can get from anywhere to Disney Springs and then jump on Disney transportation. You can get to SeaWorld on a Lynx bus. You can get to Universal on a Lynx bus. You can get to the malls on the Lynx bus.
Yeah, I mean, I know Lynx bus that we can catch next year that stops outside Endless Summer. I think that one actually is the express one and goes straight to the Ticket and Transport Centre at Walt Disney World, so we'll be able to pick up the monorail or ferry from there, which would be handy.
So we've briefly touched on villas. So personally, what
regarding villas, when we booked ours, we went through a website called Owners Direct, which actually lets you book directly with the owner of the villa. So we knew exactly what we were renting. We knew exactly where it was. We knew exactly what it looked like. I know like Virgin and BA do villas, but you're just given a general area of where your villa will be. So it is pretty much, you know, you're leaving your holiday home in BA or Virgin's hands. At least with our, you know, when we booked direct with the owner, you know, we knew exactly what we were getting. We knew the address beforehand. We had contact with the owner beforehand as well. So for us, that was more peace of mind than, you know, being told by a holiday company that you will have a villa in this area, and the areas they use are quite wide. So that would be something, you know, if I was to hire a villa again, I would definitely go direct to the owner. I wouldn't bother.
Same when we hired one for one of the conferences that we were at, there was like 8 of us sharing, I think. And one of the guys that I know, he actually knew the person that owned the villa, so we could book it. We knew exactly where it was and you know exactly where we were going. But of course, if you've got a villa, you are going to be way out in the sticks, which isn't, you know, doesn't sound too bad for a Brit, but when you consider how big Orlando is, being way out in the sticks is bloody miles away. So you could be up to like an hour's drive away from the theme parks. So you will need a car.
Yeah, especially with the traffic that accumulates on the 192 and the I4, it can add a lot of time onto things.
Yeah, it's like the M25 on a bad day.
Yeah.
Benefits of a villa, really great if there's more than one family. If there's shed loads of you, shed loads is a technical term, obviously. You can share, so it's probably way more cost effective to buy a villa than it is to do 2 or 3 hotel rooms anywhere. I mean, like when we do conferences, we used to share with like 8 people, so it worked out, you know, stupid money compared to the $200 a night hotel that we used to have to pay.
Yeah, I mean, when we went out, it would have required us to have like 2 or 3 rooms because there was like my 2 sisters and my son who was 19 at the time. So it would have been 2 or 3 rooms in a hotel, which, you know, is way beyond what we wanted to pay.
Yeah, because we're careful with money, as we've mentioned before. Obviously, another pro of having a villa is you're not really restricted as to where you can eat. You can come back to the villa to chill. You can eat. Most of them have barbecues or outside grills. Nearly all of them have some kind of pool and a nice or a spa, hot tub area, so you can come back and relax. If that's your bag. Sam and I like to spend every single moment we can shopping, eating, or in a park. So, you know, villas are wasted on us, to be honest.
Yeah, it's totally wasted. Yeah, I mean, our villa had its own kitchen. It had a barbecue. It was on a gated community, so it had a communal pool. But I mean, that was open till like 11 o'clock at night. The only benefit really for us was the fact it did have a washing machine and tumble dryer, which was nice.
Great for Brits who want to spend their money taking stuff home, not bringing it with them.
Yeah. So I will fit everything to carry on the way out there. I don't need clothes. I can buy them out there. It's fine.
Yeah, she's a shopaholic. We could have to do a whole section on shopping when we get there.
Yeah. Right. This is a throwback to our first trip out there. Which
our very first trip out there.
Our very first trip out there, where we were like 2 excited teenagers. Both Sharon and I are members of the DIB, which is the forum.
I've disappeared again to get the dog. Sorry, the dog will play. Let me show the dog. Look, there you go. There's the little dog.
Bubbles.
The dog will play a part of this podcast, whether I wanted to or not.
Molly, the psychotic chihuahua.
Yeah, the big one is around somewhere. I don't know where she is.
Now she hides. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, carry on before I'm rudely interrupted.
And yeah, we're both members of the DIB, and the DIB is amazing. It is a fountain of information. So it is forums on planning for Florida, planning for California, planning for Disneyland Paris, or general Disney planning, or even just holiday planning. It's an amazing source for things. And I'd read on there someone basically, to save room in their case, would take out old underwear and then wear it and then throw it away instead of washing it and bringing it back. I thought that was an amazing idea. I mean, obviously, logistically, it takes up about that much room in your case. But for me, that extra 2 inches was going to mean a mug or something I could bring back. So, yeah. That's one of my tips. Wear old clothes, throw them away, bring back new.
It's not very environmentally friendly, though, is it? Let's be fair. Different times, though. It was 2011.
That was
quite
that was
planet friendly as we are
yeah.
now. Yeah. Oh my life. So it was 12 years ago. Oh, that wasn't it? Right. So enough about villas. So I think as far as booking hotels for, you really want to understand what you're going to use your hotel for. So now, for us, we use our hotel like a flop house. That's probably the best description. We sleep, we shower, we stick our stuff in it. It's a storage area. We don't spend a massive amount of time at the hotel, let's be fair. In fact, the most time we'll spend in the hotel before we go to sleep will be making one of these, looking at all the stuff we've done, or squeeing over the videos and the photos that we've taken throughout the day. We spend
or if
next
we've
to
got
no
a
time.
nice view, jumping up and down at the view.
Oh yeah. We do get very excited about the views out of the hotel window.
Yeah, this goes back to the comment about jumping up and down like two teenagers on the first trip. We stayed at the Swan and Dolphin Hotel, which was amazing. And we got to the room and realised we had a balcony with a view over the lake. And yeah, we did squee, jumping up and down.
We see the Epcot fireworks or something as well.
Yeah.
We could it was either the Epcot or the Hollywood Studios fireworks. We could see when they went off from our balcony.
Fireworks back then.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we could see the Epcot fireworks and we could watch the boats come in and yeah. So there was lots of the sunrise over the lake.
Oh yeah, because obviously you can't sleep the first night you get there because of jet lag. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, so before you book a hotel, think realistically what you're going to use it for. If you're going to use it like a flop house like we do, you don't need anything cool and sexy. I'm happy with a bargain basement resort. We've stayed in all sorts of places, haven't we, when we've been to Florida?
Yeah.
From fairly moderate, nice hotels right through to the Days Inn on our drive, which was amazing.
Oh, that was fantastic. It's so
like, oh, what are you staying there for? That's like looks really dodgy. And it was absolutely brilliant. It was cheap as chips.
Wise, you couldn't beat it.
No,
you know,
and it had an IHOP. It had an IHOP downstairs.
It did.
Open 24 hours.
Which came in really handy one night
when we got absolutely drowned coming back from the fireworks.
We did the typical British thing of rain will not stop us watching the fireworks.
Yeah, I've never been so wet
Florida
in my
rain.
life. Not the same as English rain.
Different to British rain. And yeah, we got absolutely soaked. And got the shuttle bus back to dripping wet. And then when it got changed in the room, went back down to IHOP and had hot chocolates and pancakes or waffles or whatever we were eating at 11 o'clock at night. So yeah.
So it's always essential for us to find a hotel that's got some kind of food facilities that we can have at ridiculous hours of the day and night, because you never know what time we're going to get back from somewhere and what state we're going to be in. So I think every hotel or villa, well, maybe not villa, but every hotel we've stayed in, whether they've been mega posh or cheap as chips, we've only ever used them like a flop house. We've never spent quality time in the hotel worrying about, using the pool and using the facilities, and if it's got a fantastic gym. Gym, who uses a gym on holiday? So
wearing, stop using that word.
What, gym?
Gym. I think in all the visits I've done to Walt Disney World, I've never used the pool in any.
So no, in the last, I don't know, even when we've been on other holidays that have had pools, we've never used them, have we?
No,
I think.
No, I know. I know when we had the villa and that had the communal pool, but we did Aquatica, so we didn't actually use the pool at the community. We did pool park days, water park days. We didn't do. We didn't actually do hotel
if you're
pool.
a Brit and you get a 14-day Disney ticket or whatever, or a 14-day Disney Universal combined ticket, you get use of Volcano Bay and the 2 Disney water parks, don't you? So
Yeah, you
why
get
would you
tired.
want to use the why would you want to use the, not that hotel pools aren't fab, but why would you want to, unless you want to chill and have a cocktail, which I suppose is fair enough, but use the water park. But if you want a home from home while you're away, why would you go? Maybe other people are different from us though.
I mean, I
All the
think
major hotels have got
young
fantastic pools, haven't
kids,
they?
yeah, I mean, if you've got young kids, then yeah, I could see you using like a hotel pool because they're smaller, it's easier to keep an eye on the kids. A lot of them do have a child-friendly area in the pool. So,
Yeah,
I think, it'd be easier to take them there, just drop them down or take them down to the pool for an hour or so in the afternoon, rather than having a whole day in, say, Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach,
Beach
which,
or Volcano Bay or whatever.
yeah, or whichever
Crasher.
water park you
There's probably other water parks in Florida. Not being biased. Never been to any of them. I haven't. I don't think in all the years I've been. But yeah, but like I say, most of all the big hotels have got really good pools
Mm,
and hot tubs, and nearly everyone's got a pool bar. We do use the pool bar a lot, don't we?
we do.
And now we're not both non-drinkers. We're both teetotal. We'll mocktail up to our little heart's content because
Yeah.
we want to feel like we're drinking something posh with an umbrella in it, even if it's just full of fruit juice. um, our favourite topic, obviously, because we're careful with money. I was about to say tight then, but because we're careful with money, is we like to get our money's worth, don't we, Sam? We
Oh,
are bargains, not because we're cheap, but we like to get as best value for money. Because as I've said previously, the more money we save, the more money we get to spend on the delicious foodstuffs that Orlando has to offer.
and go shopping.
And go shopping. Sam's a bit of a shopaholic. She buys all sorts of tat she's never ever going to use again, and then puts it up nicely in her house.
There's nothing wrong with popcorn buckets.
I've got a few of those on the kitchen windowsill, so I can't talk. So, what can we say about getting your money's worth? Be savvy when booking and shop around, which is what Sam does. He's looking to book.
I think it's also, don't be afraid to book everything yourself.
Yes.
Necessarily book it as a package. If that's how you're comfortable, then yeah, do it as a package.
And if
We
you are going to do it as a package, wait for the deals to come out.
Yes. Yeah, wait.
January, they all have January sales, and then about Easter time as well, don't they? They'll release something awesome to try and get you to book.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of people do, if they're just going to do Disney, they will use the Walt Disney Travel Company, and I have used them myself, and they're brilliant. And with them, obviously, you get the option to do hotel and tickets, or to do hotel tickets and flights. But yeah, don't be afraid to do it on your own, which is what we do. We tend to, find the hotel we want, that is the right price for us. And the
right location. Don't forget
and
that
the right
location,
which is don't be afraid to step outside the bubble. Which I understand a lot of people do feel safe within, like, the bubbles, whether that be Disney or Universal. And especially, I suppose, if you are like a young family, then yeah, the Disney bubble is great because you can go to the parks in the morning, come home in the afternoon, have a couple of hours with the kids, let them have a nap, and then and obviously if you're staying on site at Disney, you do have the Disney buses to take you from the parks to your hotels, and vice versa. The same with Universal hotels. They've got the free shuttle buses that take you from your hotels to the parks, and vice versa. So,
and the SeaWorld hotels are opposite the park, so you don't even have to get a bus. You can just walk
no, they are
across the
literally
road.
car park,
Oh,
aren't they?
it is a big car park though, just in case you don't realise how big the SeaWorld car park is. But the hotels are literally across the road from the car park.
Yeah. What was it? Now I am the person who's full of useless bits of information. I retain useless information, and I know one time I was told that for those of you who've been to Thorpe Park in the UK, you can fit the whole of Thorpe Park into the Magic Kingdom car park. That's how big the car parks are. You know, you're looking, yeah, they've actually got trams that take you from the car park to like security, because it's otherwise you'd be to spend about 45 minutes walking down the car park. So yeah, it's quite big. But yeah, I think if you've got young kids, I could understand staying on site. But don't be afraid to stay off site. Definitely, you know, if you find a hotel that is in a nice location, that looks good for you, and it's the right price, then don't be afraid to stay off site.
A lot of the drives, a lot of the hotels on iDrive also have buses that take you to the different parks. So
Yeah.
they'll have a bus that goes to one of the Disney parks, and then you can jump on the Disney transportation to get to the right park you need. Or they'll go to SeaWorld, or they'll go to Universal. So it's worth, if you see a hotel that you quite fancy, just jump on their website or drop them an email and ask them if they've got a shuttle bus, because 99% of the time they will have, or they'll be close enough you can walk. I know. Yeah, and shop around, like use Expedia and Booking.com and Hotels.com. We found some amazing deals at Hotels.com and Booking.com. In fact, we booked our most recent holiday through Booking.com.
We did. How I booked 2019 as well. It was 2019. I booked through Booking.com and managed to get 5 days at, or 5 nights, sorry, at All Star Music for the same price as it would have been at Days Inn for the same stay. So
that's
yeah,
amazing.
Yes,
Days Inn is super cheap.
Yeah,
value for money. Shouldn't say cheap, that makes it sound nasty. It's not nasty at all. It's great. Yeah. So what was I going to say?
Yeah. So this time we've used Booking.com as well, for the stay in next year. I was going to say 2024 then, but no, it's next year. Basically, I was doing I'm not going, but I'm going to keep an eye on the prices, flick through. And I found on actually on hotels.com, when I initially found it, and yeah, it was an amazing price for a week. And I went, Sharon, look at this, and I think within 2 hours we were like, yep, right, we're going to do this. We can do this. That's cheap enough. And then I think
seven nights, weren't we originally? 7 nights.
Yeah, it was going to be 7 nights, and then by the next night, after another chat of, well, we haven't been out there for so long together, especially, you know, just a girls' trip.
Will it be 6 years? I think when we go back,
wasn't it? Was it 8 years?
Well, it might be 8 years. Oh bloody hell! Yeah, it will be 8 years. Yeah, that's a long time.
So yeah, and we decided that obviously 7 days wasn't going to be long enough, because there was so much new stuff to see,
and 3 food festivals that happen to be occurring all at the same time.
Yep. We hit Mardi Gras at Universal and SeaWorld, and the Festival of the Arts at Epcot, which I've never done the Festival of the Arts, so that's one I really, really want to see. It's the smallest festival that Epcot do, and it's the shortest one. It's only on for a month, so.
I've never managed to coincide a trip when there's any kind of food thing going on, so I'm ridiculously excited about food.
Yeah, I mean, we did food and wine in 2019, and that was amazing. That was just like, so much food. So yeah, food was obviously, and then Universal, as part of their Mardi Gras celebrations, have food booths. And so does SeaWorld. SeaWorld has their Festival of the Seven Seas, or
something like that. Yeah,
I know it's Festival of something. And that's the weekend. So we know our SeaWorld day is going to be at a weekend. But obviously there's also been Galaxy's Edge open, which I managed to catch in 2019. Sharon hasn't. So we have to go to Galaxy's Edge, being both.
I like Star Wars a little bit, don't I?
both of us are big Star Wars fans, so Galaxy's Edge is obviously a must do.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy opening in Epcot, and I neither of us have done that.
I won't do it. It's too. I don't do massive roller coasters.
Sharon is the bag lady.
Yeah.
So if I want to go on big fast rides that Sharon doesn't like, Sharon holds the bags.
Yes, Sharon does.
And since we've both, I mean, I didn't do Universal in 2019, so I haven't seen the London side of.
Oh, no, I have. That was really good. And we need to do the Gringotts ride because I can do that because that's like the Forbidden Journey and I can manage that.
Just
Total wuss when it comes to anything that flings you around. And if it's in the dark, oh my God. Yeah.
And obviously Velocicoaster is another one, new one. And by 2024, Tron should be open as well. So that's.
I really want to do, but I'm going to hold the bag.
Well, by the time we get out there, because it's due to open spring this year.
All right, so there'll be a video, so I'll be able to see if I'm man enough to cope for it. Okay. We're
And
digressing. We're supposed to be talking about booking hotels, and then
yeah, so obviously we spoke about things and decided there was way too much to do in 7 days. So within 24 hours, we'd extended it to 10.
Yes.
We did check the price, make sure it was still reasonable to do the extra days, and it was. And it was booked through booking.com, where you were able to just pay a deposit of the equivalent of one night's stay as your deposit, and then the rest is due when we actually check into the hotel.
Yeah, and the really cool thing about doing it that way is it gives you free cancellation up until I think it's 6 weeks before you travel. So if you find a better deal or you want to change your dates, you can just swap if you use a site like booking.com or hotels.com without being penalised. So you can cancel the existing date and book another one and get your money, get your £80 back or whatever it is you paid, your one night stay. Which we've done a couple of times, haven't we, when we've found better deals. But we've opted to go Universal Endless Summer Surfside, mainly because of its situation to iDrive.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for transport. I've never stayed in a Universal hotel, so I'm quite looking forward to it.
I did one night in the Hard Rock Hotel, and the Hard Rock Hotel is amazing. With the Universal hotels, they're tiered, same as Disney hotels. You have your budget hotels, your moderates, and then your deluxes. Endless Summer is their budget hotel. I watched a lot of vlogs on YouTube that did walk rounds of the rooms and walk rounds of the resorts.
Big shout out to Epic Phil, who's got a great name, who's a Brit who does fantastic reviews of all this stuff. I've watched I don't know how many of his videos about the Universal sites. Just think he's brilliant. Epic Phil. Sorry, I digress. Carry on.
That's all right. Epic Phil's walkthrough of Endless Summer Surfside was what
that was the deal breaker.
that was the one that we said, yeah, we're going to go Surfside rather than Dockside. And I know I'd watched Despicable 3's stay at Surfside as well. So I knew the location was really good. I knew it was Surfside and Dockside although they're both Endless Summer resorts, Surfside is the smaller one, which we felt for us would be more beneficial than the larger side one.
Flop house with a beach bar. That's all we need. I want a Starbucks for Sam.
And a Starbucks.
Sam likes a Starbucks. I like coffee, but I don't like Starbucks. But we won't go there.
Yeah. Let's not start that rant. No. But yeah, so the Universal hotels are tiered. So Dockside is your moderate. Then you've got the other hotels, and when you get up to the deluxe hotels, if you stay in a deluxe hotel for the entire duration of your stay, so that's check-in and check-out day, you get free express pass at Universal Studios, which to buy I think is about $180 each for the express passes. So if you book a one-night stay at a deluxe hotel, which when I went out there over the Christmas period, I was able to get it really cheap on booking.com, and I think I paid about £120 for one night in the Hard Rock Hotel, but that gave both James and I express passes for 2 days. So, you know, we saved what
Basically
was
got them for free.
£800 in express passes. We got for £120 stay in the Hard Rock Hotel. So, but the Hard Rock Hotel was amazing. I totally fangirled. If you love music and music memorabilia, just go and have a look. Go and have a walk around the hotel. It's the memorabilia they've got in there is fantastic. So yeah, and it's the closest one to Universal Parks. Is Hard Rock Hotel. It's about a 5-minute walk, or you can get the little boats.
We like a little boat, don't we?
We do like little boats. But yeah, that would be another money saving tip if you were going in the summer or over like the Halloween or Christmas periods, which I know a lot of Brits tend to go October for Halloween and then Christmas. Check the prices for one night in a Universal Deluxe, and then for 2 days, all your party will get express passes for free because you're staying in a deluxe hotel.
Yeah. We get extra park time, don't we, as well, because we're staying in a because
yeah,
even though we're staying in the budget, we still get
you
magic
still get
hours.
hours early extra time into the Universal Parks, which is better now than what Disney do, because Disney have taken it down to half an hour for resort guests in the morning, and then if you're in a deluxe hotel with Disney, you get, I think it's 2 extra hours of an evening. That's only on selected nights.
In selected parks, same as magic hours were.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Anyway, we won't digress onto reminiscing about what things used to be like and now what they're like now. It might all change back now.
We are keeping our fingers crossed.
Old Bob's back in charge and new Bob's gone.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we've kind of we've rambled on quite a lot about random stuff as well as hotels. So yeah, what are we going to talk about in episode 2?
Do we go food or do we go parks?
I don't know.
So much to choose from. I mean, flights we really can't do till we can talk about flights, but I think it'd be better to.
We should save flights until we can actually look at the sea, because obviously we're going in February, so we've got to wait until past our days in February, so March basically, before we can really book our flight. So we save flights for episode 3. I think we should do food next time.
Food.
How about that? Okay, I've committed. Episode 2 will be food.
Dining on site and off site.
Oh yeah, filth as we like to call it, for snacks. Yeah. Which isn't a good description of it, but it is filth. It's pure, unadulterated food filth, and I love it. Okay, so we'll do food. Especially
when you have like vlogs like the Disney Food Blog, who give out things like the cupcake crawl and the cookie crawl, and at these festivals they do, like, you know, if you eat certain, Sharon, we missed the one. I think it's the what's the festival that comes after? Flower and Garden. They do a cheese crawl.
I want to do a cheese crawl.
Yeah, it's like if at the Epcot festivals they always do like a challenge, and it's like if you eat 6 certain food items from certain booths, if you complete them, you get a little freebie at the end. I mean, I think it was one stage. I know the Christmas cookie one was you got a celebratory cookie, so you got a free cookie on top. I think Food and Garden last year they gave out a free plate if you completed the challenge. But yeah, the cheese crawl, it was like eat 6 items with cheese in.
Love cheese. Anyway, we're digressing onto cheese now, and we're supposed to be
we somehow always end up back on food.
We always end up back on food. Right, yeah, anyway, so we'll go. Thanks very much for watching. You can find us everywhere except for Instagram, because we have to be different, as Middle-Aged Magic. But on Instagram you can find us on Sam's account, Disney Queen 1971.
Yep.
So yeah, so thanks for watching, and we'll be back, as that bloke said that time.
See you all.
Bye.